Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Previews and Vlogs. So today I'm going to be doing a comparison on the Galaxy S10 Plus versus the iPhone XS Max. Now, I've been using the XS Max since the phone came out. I've been an Apple fanboy since probably the iPhone 3G actually, since the first iPhone back in 2007. This phone right here though caught my attention and I decided to buy this phone. So I used it for a week and I'm going to give you guys my take on this and kind of compare everything. Picture quality, video quality, sound, gaming, and just give you a pretty much rundown on which phone compares if you guys are thinking of even switching from an Apple to an Android or vice versa. So stay tuned to the video. So here are both phones. You got the Galaxy S10 and the iPhone XS Max on the right side and the Galaxy S10 on the left side. I'm going to pretty much talk about some of the quick features that I enjoyed about the Galaxy S10 in this week that I've had the phone, that I've been using the phone, what I liked about it, and why I'm still not switching and why still that doesn't make me switch to the iPhone XS Max. So we got both phones here and I'm just going to show you some of the features that I like about the Samsung that I would like Apple to implement into their phones. So for one is basically pretty much is the app switcher. Not the app switcher in general, but the way you close all the apps or you eliminate all the apps from the running in the background. So on the Galaxy S10, all you have to do is open up all your apps, and of course here are all your apps. To do that with the iPhone, most of you know that you have to do this to get the apps to open. So pretty much now you have almost the same thing here. You have a Finder search up here where you can find the apps that are open, and you have your dock down here of the most recent open apps or the most recent open apps down here. To close the apps on Apple, you got to swipe up one at a time, or you could do two at a time, however you want to do it. That is way too much. I mean, there should be more something like what Android has here or Samsung has here. Close all, and all your apps are gone. Now there is nothing left in there. There are currently no used apps or recently used apps. That's what it's displayed. With Apple, you still got to do this whole thing, go through every app just to get them to close. Now you're finally closed up all the apps that were in the background. That's one thing Apple should do. They should give us an X or some kind of button to be able to close up all the apps. Another thing that I hope they do this year with Apple, and this will help them especially with that notch up there to hide it, is dark mode. So if you log into, let's just say, your Safari or Google or whatever, or the internet, let's just put it that way, the web, on the Galaxy it goes into dark mode, and of course you see here's like the Tesla page. It hides the camera notch a lot better, the little camera cutout a lot better. Well, when you go into an Apple, same page, now you have, it's all white. Now if Apple could just please give us dark mode like you could activate it on the Samsung, it would, first of all, it would help us with hiding that notch, and it just looks better, looks more stylish. Now this goes through a lot of the apps. If you go into messages, same thing happens here. You got all these messages here, but look at this, it's all in dark mode over here. Go into the phone system as well. The phone system, I mean, this looks a lot better to me than a giant widescreen. And also when it's on dark mode with an OLED screen, it's turning off the pixels, so you're using up less battery on that as well. A lot of the other apps have it as well, and I mean, like YouTube already has it implemented into their actual systems as it is, and so does Twitter. So you go on Twitter and just actually change the settings on that and actually get that off of their systems, but it needs to be done by the manufacturer of the phone. Samsung's done it, Apple needs to do it where you could just have a dark mode for every app on the phone. Another thing that Apple needs to give us is more options to customize the home screen. So with Apple, this is pretty much your home screen. You have I leave one screen completely blank because I just want to be able to see the wallpaper that I normally have in there, and you have a bunch of apps and app folders everywhere, just all laid out throughout the screen. That's pretty much what Apple gives you. They're kind of simple. Here are your apps. You have the name of each app and everything, which is fine. I mean, it's worked for them so far, but just a little bit more able to customize. Let us do what we want to do with this. With Samsung, of course, you push down on the keys, and then you have the option to move any of these into, get them out of the actual main screens. You got themes in here. You could change everything to different themes on the background. neon themes. Look at all these themes you could put on there. Just change it. And they're not wallpapers, they're just themes. It changes a lot of characters of the actual phone. You got like North Carolina, Michigan basketball themes right here that you can customize. It'll change all the way the whole phone itself looks. The phone, the actual texting bubbles, or the texting the messages app. Sorry about that. The messages app, the time, everything just changes just by going through each theme. I mean, this is a full theme that customizes the entire phone, not just the screen itself. It's not just a screensaver. As well as, if you could do that again, I'll go right back in there. You can customize the home screen to wherever you want. Change the size of the widgets, change the size of the apps. Then you have all these widgets in here. You have all these widgets you could set up in the home screen, which, of course, like I said, Apple, if you slide over, you have some widgets, but why not just let us have them on some on the home screen? And I know Apple won't do that, because then you're pretty much becoming Samsung at that point and doing exactly what they do. But hey, they copy Apple in certain things. Why not take something from their book and do it and put it on the iPhone? Another feature that I like on the Samsung is the fact that I could go into the camera app, right in there, and you could change your settings right off here. So if I wanted to take a video, let's just say, I could go right into my settings for everything right in here and change the resolution, full screen, whatever I wanted to do, a 6:9, location tags, camera modes. You could change almost everything. Video stabilization in here, how rich you want the HDR rich tones to look. You could change that on and off. Location storage, you could put it internal. You can have everything go to the SD card. Quick launch, shutter sounds, and you can just go through every single camera setting in here, especially where they have this Pro. I believe this is a Pro mode, which I haven't used it very much, but in here, you could change the white balance, white balances on everything, the light balance, how much black or white you wanted to show on the actual thing, tint, contrast. There's just unlimited, a lot more customizability. I can't even talk right now. There's a lot more features, a lot more settings on the camera app than on the iPhone. On the iPhone, of course, you go in here, and let's find the camera app. Right in here, and here's all your shots. You got video, slow-mo, time-lapse, portrait mode, square, and panel are your few features that you have. But if you want to change settings, other than, of course, if you're in a video mode or photo mode, and you swipe up here, you have your vivid, your cool, your warm, all this other stuff going on here. And you could change this. But if you wanted to change the resolution, how you actually wanted to shoot, if you want 4K, now you got to get out of the app, go into your settings, find camera right there, and then change your settings in here. And these are the only options you get is record. You get to record, and they give you just these options. It doesn't give you very many options to actually record in. Formats, high efficiency or most compatible, and things like that. So I think what Apple should do, and again, even in their settings screen, for God's sakes, can we get this into a dark mode? But Apple should give us more options in the actual camera app than having to get out of the camera app to change settings. If I want to record in 4K or in 1080p, I want to do it on the fly. If I'm recording and I want to just switch it to 1080p or 4K, right off the camera mode. Not have to tell somebody, hold on 1 second, let me change my settings before I'm able to do the recording. So another thing that I want to show you here is basically the ability to be able to change how on the settings of how close you want something to look right off the camera, and of course Samsung's 180 field of view with their wide mode camera. If you look at that, I mean, you go from a close-up to the GoPro right there to an average photo, which still looks really decent, and going into a wide angle shot, getting more of a field of view of it. iPhone doesn't give you that option. What iPhone you have is pretty much have a close-up. There's the GoPro. That's your normal rate at 1x zoom. And of course, if you want to zoom, there's no button. There's nothing you could do. You just got a focus button. Of course, you have to pinch to zoom. And if you want to go out, that's as far as it goes out. You don't get any further than that. Of course, you get to zoom it in and then zoom out at that far. That's as far as you get. Which with this, you get more of a field of view. And it's just a one button push. And if you wanted to zoom in even further into this, you do have that option. So let's just say we're here at the zoom. And now we want to zoom in even further. I mean, look how far in I could get into that with the Samsung. I mean, I could get in pretty close into there. And that's all the way zoomed into. Now, with the iPhone, you can't do that. You don't have that option. You get it about that close. It's still not as close as the actual Samsung was. That gets you just a lot closer when you're zooming into something. That's one thing that I hope Apple implements, is just a little bit better camera with their zoom, the quality. Not that it's bad at all. And then you guys gotta see videos coming up here, some shots that I took and some videos that I actually took. So that's coming up here in a little bit, and we'll talk more, and you can see more about the cameras and how they display certain features in certain parts of the actual phones. So that's pretty much both phones right there in a nutshell. You guys take a look at them, of course. Both beautiful displays. One slimmer than the other, one slighter than the other, that being the Galaxy S10. So in your hand, it just feels a lot more comfortable to hold than the actual iPhone. But the iPhone in your hand feels heavier, and I guess you could say a little bit more premium. I'm not sure if that's because of the stainless steel, I believe, that it has on the side. It does have a stainless steel, that the belt on the side, the metal here, which is all stainless steel, compared to their aluminum that's on the side here. Now that probably could make it lighter, but it's not by much. It's not like it's a big difference in that thickness. So that's pretty much both phones right there. You can see both phones are just beautiful to look at. They're gorgeous. The Galaxy has that bigger screen, bigger real estate of screen than the iPhone does because of that notch. If the iPhone somehow was able to get rid of this notch, maybe even make it smaller, it would help out a whole lot more. As well as, again, implementing dark mode would be great, because then you could just, when you're watching something, watching a video, or watching, even going on your feeds, your Instagram, your Snapchat, your Facebook, mail, or whatever you're going to, your email, or whatever you're going to, your text messaging in your phones. And if it had dark mode, you wouldn't even notice that notch being up there. It would bother people a lot less than when you go into your phone app and you have this gigantic white notch compared to going in here, and you can't even see the cutout on that one. So right now we're gonna go and I'm gonna show you guys some video and some pictures I took. I had my son play some games that he likes to play on his phone. I had him play it on the Galaxy and on the iPhone, and you could see the difference in picture quality. Same as we played a video on there. With both phones, you could see that. And then we went out for a walk, and I actually took both phones and decided to take some video and a picture on both phones. So keep watching this, and you guys will see the difference between the both phones, and I'll talk about a little bit of the difference on there. Alright, so before we go into any videos or pictures or anything like that, I'm going to show you guys the quick Geekbench scores. iPhone still comes out on top on both. Single core score and the multi-core score on the iPhone still a lot higher than it is on the Samsung Galaxy S10. 4,830 for the iPhone for the single core, and 3,514 for the single score on the Galaxy. As for the multi-score, of course, you could see 11,035 for the multi-core and 10,794 for the multi-core on the Galaxy. Now, that's on the single score is a good amount of difference. On the multi-score is very small amount, and you can kind of tell that when you are using the phones. How it lags on certain things, or certain games, videos, and things like that. Now here's some gameplay. Here's my son, actually let him use the phone. He's playing some Fortnite on the Galaxy here, and he is, I mean, just the color itself, they just pop. They're more vibrant on the Galaxy on gameplay. Now you cannot get full screen on this game here, so you can notice on the top there by his left hand or left thumbs that he's got a big gap right there of all black. That's basically where the camera, the cutouts would be. But the wallpaper on the actual game, you can see the blues are more vibrant. The character's hair, the grass going outside here is really green. I mean, it's like it just pops. All the colors just pop. The red car on the far right there, again, is red, and it's like really, really bright red. Now you'll notice when I go to this one, which is the iPhone, the colors are more dull, less saturated, you would say. So it's in a video game, you want it to be more saturated, I guess. At least that's how I like them. They like to be make the colors pop. Even you can tell that the wallpaper is not as blue as it was. You got more of a grayish color than a blue color like you did on the Galaxy there. As we go outside, the grass is still pretty green. Not as green as vibrant as on the Galaxy S10, and same thing with that truck on that side. We passed it up. We didn't go to the truck this time, going out to I guess the gazebo here. But the grass again, you could see how the grass is not as vibrant as it was on the other phone. All right, so now he's gonna be playing Asphalt 9. It's another game that I wanted to show you guys on the iPhone and Galaxy. So on the Galaxy here, now this one goes full screen, unlike Fortnite did not go full screen on them. But you could tell that the cutout right up there with the two camera cutout is not as bad. It's just you got this tiny little thing that looks like a little pill right on top there, and it's not as intrusive. I mean, if you're concentrating on the game, it doesn't bother you as much. The actual colors are really vibrant again on this game. The blues on the car, the fire or the exhaust coming out the back of the vehicle, really vibrant. All the explosions, all the nitrous getting shut out the car, you can see how vibrant that is. Now the same game, Asphalt 9 on the iPhone, and you got full screen of course on this, and there's the notch of course, that awful notch. I hope they do make it smaller. The colors are not as vibrant, but not bad. I mean, it's not like you went into like a black and white TV. It's still good colors, still pretty good. Now with the iPhone being a little bit wider, you do get a little bit more real estate from the look of it. I mean, you could see his hands on this. He's got a lot better control of everything, more control to play and control the actual car itself. So again, it's not bad, and I think the refresh rate on the iPhone is a lot quicker than on the Galaxy. So that's one up on the actual Samsung. We'll let them finish this game here, and then we'll hop to the next video. Now the next one, I'm going to be going basically through some cinematic kind of nature shots. Now again, here's some video between the Galaxy and the iPhone. The Galaxy, of course, on top, the iPhone at the bottom. 4K videos we're watching here. You can tell the blacks are a lot richer on the Galaxy. Again, that small, the notch up top is less intrusive or more intrusive than the little pill-size camera cutouts. But the colors are more vibrant on the Galaxy. Now there's a big difference between watching a video and playing a video game than taking pictures, and you'll see that in a bit here when I show you guys some pictures I took and some video I actually used to take. I used both phones to take. Right here on that last shot, on these shots right here, you could tell that the colors and the detail on the Galaxy are a little bit more than the actual iPhone. You tell more detail. The whites on the iPhone makes the wipes pop a lot more, so you get a lot more brightness off the screen of the iPhone than the Galaxy. So it just depends on your preference. You want the shadows better. The colors look better on the Galaxy on the video. You can see the green on there from the hippos being in the water to the green. It's got more white balance on the actual iPhone than it does on the Galaxy S10 Plus. Now coming up is going to be some videos of some pelicans in the water. I believe they're pelicans. They're not pelicans. They are flamingos in the water. Sorry. And you could see how much the white balance, actually on the clouds here, the more white balance on the iPhone, the shadows look better, the blacks look better on the Galaxy. And here you go. You could see the flamingos better, and it's the pinkish of the flamingos on the actual Galaxy better than you can on the iPhone. Now we're going to do some actual footage with the cameras. 3 cameras in the back of the Samsung and Galaxy S10, of the Samsung Galaxy S10, and 2 on the back of the iPhone. One of the cameras on the Samsung is a wide angle, I believe it's a 180 degree camera. I'm not going to go into every spec of this camera. I'm just going to basically normal usage. Everybody else has done specs on these things, so you can look at other videos for those. Now with this shot right here, what you're seeing is basically the stability. This is the Galaxy. As I'm walking around with the phone, you can see how stable it is. Pretty good stability. You could also see the details on the rocks. As I go under this bridge right here, the color still, that the darkness is, which it wasn't that dark, but it still keeps that nice brightness, that vibrancy for everything else. As the actual phone, you could see it shakes a little bit more. You do see less stability. Now on the iPhone here, you can see it's got a little bit more stability than the actual Galaxy. It's not as shaky. Still, I mean, not the best. Can't compare it to like having it on a gimbal or even the new GoPro Hero 7. But both phones do a great job either way. Both phones like to keep the light on there. Now the iPhone here loses some of the light. You could tell it's got a little bit darker compared that to what the Galaxy actually did, which kept it nice and bright as we got to this point. Now here is another shot as we're walking through here. Again, and if you look at my son's shoes right there, they're super vibrant, super red. Same thing on the grass on the right side on the Galaxy. Nice stable video still. On the iPhone, if you get, we're looking focus on the shoes, they're not as bright, and that's where you notice it. And you also notice the phone or the camera kind of shift with the white balance and everything.
I'm coming. It's freezing cold. This is pretty much the front-facing camera. It smooths out the skin a lot. Oh man. So that's a feature that I'm not too impressed about. Simple fact is my skin is not that smooth, not at all. So this is on the Samsung Galaxy S10. iPhone XS Max shows more features of your skin, does not give it that beauty mode, that, you know, skin where your skin looks like it's been painted on or you got makeup on. So that's what I like about it. Basically, it shows your true skin tones and everything.
Now for some panorama shots, you can see on the iPhone how the actual picture is a lot brighter than it is on the Galaxy, and on the Galaxy it uses the wide angle lens. You can see more of the scenery than you can on the iPhone. Now this picture here is a bush, the same bush exactly. Galaxy shows more vibrancy, wider actually, and the iPhone shows a little bit more detail when it comes to using its camera. The colors are more true to it. The other bush looks like it's dying there. And again, it's the same exact bush, so it's not like it's another bush or something different. It's both exactly the same. So let's take a look at this wall. Like on the iPhone side, you got more detail than you do on the Galaxy mode. The Galaxy looks like it just hides everything, even including the brick at the bottom. You can see more detail on the iPhone. So here again, we have a picture of an acorn, and there you go again with Galaxy. It's kind of again hiding the actual detail on the acorn. The iPhone gives you the exact detail. You get closer to it. It doesn't break apart. On the Galaxy, you see it break apart as you get closer to it. Now this is a picture just using the wide angle lens on the iPhone or the Galaxy, where the iPhone does not have that. Hopefully Apple will implement that in the next iPhone here. This picture here is a perfect example of how the iPhone superbs when it comes to quality of picture. You could see that there's no glare of the sun on the iPhone compared to the Galaxy, so it shows a lot more detail on the actual iPhone. Now here is how the Galaxy wins over the iPhone with the camera. The night shots on the iPhone are really bad. Same tree, same lighting in the background, but you can barely see the actual bush or the tree on the iPhone, and the Galaxy actually gives you a little bit better shot. Now when you use the flash, that's when you notice how much the Galaxy over-exaggerates the color over the iPhone. That bush, that same exact bush that we couldn't see at night, the Galaxy has a like super bright green almost, where it actually is not. The True Tone flash on the iPhone gives you the exact, pretty much very close to what the real color is. Compared to the Galaxy, the bush is not that green. It's not, at least not at this point in time, which we're in the middle of March. It's actually the color of the iPhone that it's showing you with that True Tone flash. So that's some pictures there for you guys to see on the iPhone. Now we're going to go back here and finish this video up, and then we'll just finish kind of summing everything up here in a second. Alright guys, so there you have it. You guys saw some pictures, saw some videos on both phones. taken with both phones. I did not change the image or enhance the image in any kind of way. Those were the raw pictures on how the phones came set from the factory. I did not mess with any of the images. Same thing with the gameplay and the video you saw compared to both phones, watching that movie, that slight movie I showed. The Samsung outperforms the iPhone when it comes to gameplay, picture quality gameplay, and as well as video. The darkers are better, the colors are more vibrant, but when it comes to shooting videos and pictures, other than the wide angle lens you have on the Samsung, the iPhone gives you more details. It gives you actual true tone or true pictures actually of whatever you're taking of. So whatever that picture you're taking of, you get a better understanding of the image compared to the Samsung, which kind of hides a lot of the stuff. It overexposes, it oversaturates things, which is good for certain things. If you're taking a picture of a flower or something, you want to make it look really nice, that's great. But if you want something that's more true to life, the iPhone. And you saw, of course, earlier when I explained some of the features of what the Galaxy has. Both phones are awesome phones. I will not knock a Galaxy phone again for its features. I will knock it for not being able to send large videos through text messaging. That's one thing they still need to work on. As well as Apple has to work on giving Apple owners more options in customizing their phones and the dark mode and a lot of other things. So that's a video on both phones. I used this one for about a week and a few more days. Always been using an iPhone. I'm very impressed with what the Galaxy has done or what Samsung has done. I can't wait to see what the Galaxy S10 Note or the Galaxy Note 10 looks like and how it performs with the new iPhone that's coming out in September. And I might do a video comparison of that. So I hope this video helped you guys out and making a decision, or if not, just educating you a little bit. If it did, hit the like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care.